What's poppin', peeps?
Oh man, can I
Oh,
say it? Can I say it this
oh,
time?
yeah, you can go ahead and say it. Yeah.
Okay. What's poppin', peeps? Okay, that's all I want to do. That's all I want to do.
Oh, that's 100% staying. Well, what's poppin', peeps? Welcome in, everybody. Welcome into the very first episode of the Peep Lounge, where I try. We're gonna be on this show. We're gonna be kind of just getting into a lot of nerdcore artists, homies of nerdcore, reactor, anybody nerdcore. Right? I'm gonna hopefully get as many people up on this show, and we're gonna just talk some BS, chat about music, etc., etc. And today, what better way to start it off than the one and only? He's 1/3 of the nerdcore group Nerd Out, sitting at over 3 million subs, and he is also an artist who drops music solo, sitting at over 100,000 subs on YouTube. He is artist, producer, director, Mr. Ben Schuller.
Woo! That was quite the intro there.
Of course. I had to talk people up. I had to talk people up. So welcome in. Thank you for doing this.
I am pumped to be here. I am honored to be your first guest on the first episode. I've loved watching all your reactions of like any
Hey,
of my videos or
hey,
Nerd Out videos. Like,
I appreciate that. And before we get started, like I said, I told you this beforehand, but I thank you for being the guinea pig for the very first episode. I'm not like an interviewer connoisseur, so like I just if things are a little scuffed, I apologize. And then two, I also have to point out that Mr. Ben Schuller over here is the current holder of my favorite song I've ever heard ever. He's the current holder of it.
I think I know. Is it this moment?
It is. It
Is
is.
that what you're gonna
Dude,
say?
I play that religiously to this day.
Oh
To this
man.
day. Little side story, but there's when I stream, I have one of my moderators. His name is Goose. And like that relationship between two dudes or whatever. They kind of just like they got like that brotherhood where we kind of like, hey, we're not like that. But if we ever get married, this moment is going to be our wedding song.
Dude, when you get married, I will perform that at your wedding.
All right, I'll remember that. I'm gonna need that in writing because I'll fucking remember that. But no, I appreciate you. Thank you for hopping on and doing this with me. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no, that was actually the first time I ever discovered who you were was because you did a reaction to this moment. Like, was that like back last
Oh yeah,
February
I
or
think it was.
something?
I think it was a little bit after it came out. So whenever I can't remember when it came out,
Yeah,
but
I
it
mean, it
looked.
was like almost a year ago, probably.
Yeah,
So,
and that was my
but yeah,
first Ben Schuller like reaction too. Like that,
yeah.
I've never reacted to anything from. Like I've heard of you, like I've listened to your stuff, but I've never did like a formal reaction of yours before then.
No, and I loved it. Yeah, because I honestly I feel like I'm relatively new to the reaction scene because like Nerd Out, obviously,
Yeah.
there's been millions of reactions on Nerd Out videos,
Yep.
but like my own stuff, it was really this new album that was like the first time I had like the reaction
Really?
community on it. Yeah, no, this is like the first time. So
I
like
feel like people would be
I'm
all over
pumped
your
about it.
stuff.
I mean, I feel like. I
But
mean, this reaction community is very much in the nerdcore
yeah, I was
scene.
gonna say a lot of the times like this just
Yeah,
kind of has like a nerdcore kind of
right.
center
And
onto it. Yeah.
I like obviously Nerd Out started what like 7 years ago, so like I've been in this community, but like
Yeah.
my solo music, I don't know if like it feels like it's becoming more nerdcore adjacent than it used to
Oh, yeah,
be.
no, yeah, 100%, 100%. I feel
Yeah,
that.
like I like Ben Schuler is a solo artist. I feel like lived outside that space a little bit more
Yeah.
like 3 years ago, but like yeah. So this past album was the first time that it really felt like embraced by the
And
nerdcore community,
like
and
you
that was
you are a
awesome.
part of Nerd Out, which obviously is a big part of the nerdcore community. But another thing that could attribute to that is that like you as a solo artist, you don't necessarily make nerdcore stuff yourself. So a lot of
Right.
people, so a lot of those people who are listening to Nerd Out I'm saying this in the nicest way possible, might not translate over to your solo music
I
as
mean,
well.
a lot of them just didn't know about it. I mean, there's like my own fan base has so many
Yeah.
fans of Nerd Out in there, but like the fans of like nerdcore in general might not be as well like up until this past year,
Yeah.
year or two,
And
maybe.
hey, I'm happy for you. I'm glad you're getting the
Dude,
exposure,
yeah,
man, because you're mad talented. Like I said, you're an artist,
I'm
you're a
excited about it.
producer, you directed. I know you directed, and you had like a big part in all those past like 5 videos from your most recent
Right.
project. So like you're a mad talented dude, man. So I'm glad you're getting put under the spotlight a lot more, man.
I
And
appreciate you, man.
speaking of that project, congratulations, because it seemed like it was well received for between everybody who I've seen listen to it and all the other. Because I peep other reactions and stuff like that, and so it seems like everybody was a big fan of it. So congrats, man, congrats.
Dude, thank you so much. Yeah, I've been blown away by the responses, and so just like so happy with how it all turned out, and so grateful for everybody that's been checking it out. And because yeah, that was the biggest project that I've ever done. Like definitely had no idea like how it would you know how people would relate to it or how
Yep.
people would respond to it. And so yeah, I'm just like grateful that it is doing what it's doing.
And so, this these past like 5 videos of the that you put on your YouTube for this project. This is when I discovered that you actually directed, like you were like kind of in charge of like the creative direction of like the videos and stuff like that. I didn't know that I knew you were obviously an artist and producer, like you producer, but I didn't realize you kind of had that like you were in your director bag. So what is that process like? Like how do you come up with the stuff that you think like creatively that you want to put in your videos for
Yeah,
those
man.
videos?
Like I have really like grown to love the filmmaking side
Mhm.
of what I do over the years. I mean, obviously, like everybody in the scene got my start on YouTube, so it was like video and
Yeah.
audio went hand in hand from the
Hmm.
start. And so like I've always been, making music videos for my songs, but like they never were, I never considered myself a director because they were just, lower quality kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, as I kept doing it and like it really started with my album before this one, the New Roaring Twenties album was the first time that I like, I kind of want to step into this director's seat and really like take control over everything. And like I had the editing chops, like I've been doing it for so long. So like
Well,
I
you
was the
edited
first
you
one.
edited it too?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, bro, you did everything. God.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a big team that goes into like
Oh yeah,
as big
100%.
of a production as these ones. But yeah, like with this project, this was like, this was the first time that I had worked on like, I mean, these sets that we were working on. There was probably 10 to 15 crew members on each one, and it was like first time that I've been at that level of production.
Yeah.
But we had, you know, shout out Jimmy Naples, who is my DP, director of photography for about 80% of this series, and he brings so much to the table from not only um, like the creative side, like helping with ideas and like figuring out
Yeah.
how to shoot certain things. But he also is so ingrained in the film community in Nashville that he was able to like round out the crew, like all the grips and the gaffers and like all the equipment that we needed to rent and everything. So like that was a huge part in me taking that next step. And yeah, my guy Chris Sawati, my right hand man. Dude, every time you come out with a new reaction to these videos, like I always watch them with him because he's
Oh, I
he's
get
the
like a little
guy.
watch party.
Pretty
That's nice.
much, yeah.
That's nice.
No, so yeah, so you're asking like what goes into this like
Yeah.
creatively. It starts a lot of the time from like me and Chris. So like I'll have like the song. I'll like come up with the song, the idea, and I'll be like, okay, so I want to do something where I'm rowing a boat across a lake and then I get pulled underwater and I'm like fight and then like so we'll take like that tiny like little snippet of an idea and then we'll just get
Expand on
drunk. Yeah.
expand on, yeah.
Yeah. We drink way too many white claws and we
Oh,
let our
White Claw
minds go
Ben Schuller,
wild.
yeah. I'm trying to figure out what's a better Ben Schuller, White Claw Ben Schuller or Tom Holland Ben Schuller. Like
Oh man. I'm glad you said Tom Holland Ben Schuler and not Toby Maguire Ben Schuler. So,
yeah, no, like I said, shout out to you because like I said, the videos actually they all turned out fantastic. Some of the shots in there were absolutely beautiful. So I can't imagine the amount of time and effort that went into those, man. So shout out the visual side of it. And now in terms of the music itself, sorry, in terms of the music itself, how did you? Because obviously this was like a very personal track or project for you.
Mhm.
What was your thought process go how do I want to phrase? What was your thought process going into it, and like how did you come up with like? Because it's obviously like one like it's almost like all five tracks are like their own like it's all like one story. How did you come up with the idea of doing something like that, and what was your thought process making the songs, and what were you I'm trying to deep dive into your brain and what was going
Right.
through your
I
head
mean,
when
yeah,
you
I
were
know this
making it?
is. I know we're just like hanging out and having a good time, but like, you want me to get into like the deep side of it? Cause,
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude,
um,
absolutely.
yeah, I mean, so like I talked about that new Roaring Twenties album that came out
Yep.
2 years ago, and that was like the first like concept album I did, and that was essentially like that, the Spark Notes version of this. Like it started from me feeling like I was, doing so well, like in on paper, like my career was like, I'm
Yep.
making money off music, I'm making a career off of music, blah blah blah, playing shows, people know the words of my songs. Like, yeah, I have it made on paper, but I was like so depressed. I was the like rock bottom, like worst place I'd ever been in,
Yeah.
and so like that album came out of that, and like that whole thing was about our generation's kind of like relationship with social media and the internet, and how we've like
Oh.
essentially like me personally, but like our generation as a whole, but also me personally as an artist, it was like my entire self-worth and identity was based off of
The internet,
who
like,
I was online. Yeah.
yeah.
Like the validation of strangers, like how many
Oh yeah.
likes my posts are getting, how many followers I have, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so that album ended with like, the big finale music video
Yeah.
was the influencer side of me killing like the pure side of me, and like basically like saying like, this is who we are now, like I'm
Yeah.
taking over, like this is what we've decided to do, like we're going to like just sell out for, getting attention and
Yep.
views. So that was the end of that album, and then it's like this whole connected story where in the year after that one ended to this new album, I just put out a bunch of like pop songs,
Yeah.
just like, this moment, for
Yeah.
example.
Hmm.
It's like it's kind of a love song, kind of not, like, but it's very ambiguous, it has a catchy hook.
Oh yeah.
It's like, but it's not like about any like deeper message. And so that was like essentially my way of like letting the influencer side, okay, let's just write songs to be popular, let's just make songs that like we think will do well.
Yeah.
And then about halfway into this process, like I was starting to just feel that same like depression again, like the same like, I don't want to do this, and something snapped, and I was like, I'm cutting this project short. I was going to do 10 acoustic songs for this album. Like this moment was the first, there was going to be 10. I cut it short, and I'm like, this is now a two-part album, and the influencer side is going to go to sleep, and the artist side is going to come out and say what he has to say. And like that was essentially where that came from. And I, shelved the rest of the acoustic songs. So there's some gems in there. Maybe they'll
Yeah.
come out someday. But I was like, I need to say this. Like it's on my heart,
Yeah.
it's on my soul. Like I need to like get what I'm feeling out. So I, wrote the 5 songs that were the music video half of the album, the artist Ben perspective.
Yeah.
And the music video series starts, influencer Ben's in his lavish penthouse. He's got the girl in the bed, and like got, drinking bourbon, and got his gold chain and
Yeah.
all that, whatever.
Yeah.
um and yeah, he goes to sleep, and in his head is the artist Ben that he locked up, essentially,
Yeah.
who's like, I need to get out of here, and I need to like take back control. And yeah, so that's how that all started, and it, evolved from there and turned into this big production of a project that I never imagined. And but I'm so like amazed with how it turned out. I'm so grateful for, how it turned out and the response and everything like that.
Well, as you should be proud, because like I said, it turned like the entire project itself. Like I said, whether you watched just listen to it on Spotify, whether you got the full experience and you watched all 5 episodes on the YouTube with the music video, it was phenomenal all around, visually, audibly. Like it was almost like a cinematic experience. I'm gonna start calling it the BCU, the Ben Cinematic Universe.
You're not the first person to say it. There's been different iterations of the BSCU, or like the Ben Schuller-matic universe, or I don't know. There's been
But no, I appreciate you taking the deeper dive. And like I said, I know depression is nothing to joke about, but I'm glad like you decided to go the artist way. Like I said, because I love it, and you could tell when artists are like they enjoy the things that they make, and like because a lot of times, especially in like the music, people will make what's popular rather than what they want to make. So and because of like, if they make what's popular, they're practically forced to, if they want to stay relevant, to keep making popular things, and that can kind of push what they want to do off to the side. So that shows a lot from you, that you were willing to, hey, I'm gonna stop making like these these like try to make these songs popular and whatnot. And you want to just, I'm gonna just let my thoughts, I'm gonna just let me as a person out, and I'm just gonna show it to the world. And like I said, it turned out splendid. It was absolutely fantastic. So props to you. Like I said, props to everybody who was a part of it, all those people behind the scenes doing all the videos and all that stuff. Props to everybody, because it turned out fantastic.
Dude, I appreciate that so much. Yeah, like, cause it really was like the second half of that album was the first time that I could ever like truly say like I made those songs for me, and like I made them to say what I wanted to say, and like I went into them not really caring if they did numbers or not.
Yeah.
And it felt like that was the happiest I've felt, like making something, was like the past 6 months of making that whole music video project. Was like, this is like what I'm passionate about, and it just like felt good.
That's good. That's good. And like I said, you can really tell when artists are like enjoying the stuff that they make. And at the end of the day, if you keep making the stuff that you make, it'll attract the people that you want to attract. But what is like, what do you use as like motivation to keep making music? Like how do you like wake up? It's like, oh, I need to I need to make a song like this, whatever. But like, what's your motivation? What keeps you making music, and not just like, oh, I'm going to stop making music at this point, whatever. Like, what keeps you going musically?
That's an interesting question. Not something I really think about, because like to me it's just like always been what I've wanted to do.
So it's like it's like ingrained, like you're just it's so like normal in your life that it's just like you don't know anything different.
Yeah, and I think like, I mean, there is this like underlying like desire to like make an impact on people, and like when it gets like reaffirmed, when like someone reaches out and says that like a song that I made affected them in a certain way.
Yeah.
And, like that, it just like reminds me like, oh yeah, like this is why I do this shit. Like this is why it's awesome. And yes, like I don't really, there's not like, I don't have to wake up. Like, don't get me wrong, I procrastinate like no.
Oh no, I feel it. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. Don't worry.
I definitely could work on being more disciplined and motivated to get the shit done that I need to get done.
Yep.
But it's never like waking up in the morning and being like, do I still want to do music? Like it's
just always been so ingrained in like what your life that you don't know any other way.
Yeah, dude. I made my first music video when I was like 10 years old.
Oh, dang. What was that, like 30 years ago?
It's
I'm sorry. I had to get a joke in. I had to get a joke in
there. Have you not seen it though? Pancakes and Waffles? Does that not?
Actually, I actually don't think. I'll have to go back and watch it after this, man.
Go check out Pancakes and Waffles, man.
The title itself is already kind of like, what?
Me and my grade school buddies, like I got my first little video camera for Christmas, and it came with this like editing software. It was very much a toy. Like it was very limited in what it could do. But like, we recorded this song, and it's very low quality. But like, I'm pretty proud of it.
I'll have to check it out after we get done here, man. See what it's about. But a little bit of a random question, right? So obviously we know the type of music that you make, and the type of music that that you put out. But what is the type of music that you normally like to like listen to on your free time? Like what kind of genres, what kind of music do you listen to? Like what like if I had to tell you, it's like, oh, what's your go-to artist right now? Like what are you telling me?
Man, dude, Arian Shaw. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I can't say I'm familiar. No.
He's like very dark R&B, like very vibey.
Oh,
Like
yep.
honestly, I listen to a lot of stuff that like is in a similar lane to like the music I would want to make essentially. So it's like I
Oh,
hear songs like, oh, I pick out certain things like I really love how he does this or does this. Like I would love to like make my music a little bit more influenced by that. And
yep.
so like I've been listening to him a ton. He was my number one artist on Spotify Rap last year, but um, it's kind of like take Post Malone vibes,
Oh, I
but
like.
make it like darker and like all the
Oh,
subject matter is much more like introspective
yeah,
and like yeah, like dealing with a lot more inner demons
yeah.
and less like popping bottles, I
And
guess.
yeah, because it's funny that you because now that you gave that comparison, like Post Malone, like I listen to like a lot of nerdcore music, obviously as a nerdcore
Yeah,
react.
yeah.
So a lot of the music that I listen to is within people that are within the nerdcore space. But in terms of like mainstream people, Post Malone is up there as one of like my top artists. So now that you gave that comparison to Post Malone, I'm gonna have to go check them out on the free time and see what they're about
Yeah,
because
no, yeah, I mean, Post Malone's up there for me too.
yeah.
Like, I love his stuff. But like, recently, I've been listening to a lot of Orcadia. Like,
Oh, dude, Ori go crazy, bro. Dude, I'm so happy because I remember I reacted to a few Orcadia videos like
yeah,
a year and a half ago, right? And then I just see him have this like rise, like with all like the
right,
features. Like I know
right.
him and Jonold had dropped an album and you were a feature on that.
Hmm.
And then obviously with DPS and Fable, I think he had a Rustage, like, and it's just like everybody wants a little piece of that or do it. It's so
Yeah,
happy.
man.
I'm so happy to see people like that. Just like they get noticed and they get a little time in the spotlight. But Arcadia is valid. I'll give you, yeah.
Dude,
Arcadia
no,
is 100%.
he is on the way up for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Like, I fully believe that. And like, when I was back home for Christmas and like in the car with like the family and like, oh yeah, like I'm controlling the music now. It's like, I'm gonna show him some nerdcore stuff. Or Arcadia's first thing comes to mind. But like, shout out Jonald too, because it was that album. But
Oh
like,
yeah.
but yeah, man, like everything he's doing right now.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Arcadia, dude. Shout out to
dude,
Arcadia.
shout out to Arcadia.
Um, so another kind of just like random question. Okay, so obviously we've known that you can dabble in guitar, like you play guitar. We've seen you dabble in piano too a little bit. Is there any other instruments that you've ever played growing up that you excelled at, or like did you ever like in high school? Did you guys ever play like any instruments in like a band or anything like that? Is there like
Oh man, I was the drum major of the high school marching band.
oh you play drums too?
No, no, no. So I mean, drum major. You don't have to play drums to be the drum major. I played trumpet.
Oh
But yeah, I was like, yeah, in band from fifth grade to
yeah.
graduating high school. I was in like the symphony orchestra for a year. So yeah.
S-
Trumpet. I played trumpet. I was pretty into it.
so,
Like I was my dad played trumpet. My dad actually plays trumpet on the last song of this album.
oh really?
The finale song when you hear that trumpet in the
Oh yeah,
background,
yeah,
that's my
yeah.
dad.
That's your
Yeah.
dad? Oh, that's dope as
Yeah.
hell. Oh, that's
Yeah.
dope. Shout out, Dad,
Yeah.
Dad
Shout out
Schuller,
Dad Schuler.
Dad
Yeah,
Schuller.
man.
Shout out to Dad Schuller.
I try to get him on like one song per album where I'll just like fly back to Michigan, bring my like mobile setup and like we'll record just like in
Yeah.
a bedroom for a couple hours and then I'll take it back and get it in the song. Yeah.
So it's like so you said that your dad played the drum. So it's like do you come from like a music like family? Does everybody in your household kind of dabble in a little bit of
Um
music or?
yes, but like not I will say my dad after like we all like me and my two brothers like we are all out of the house now
Yeah.
and like after that my dad has like joined like five different bands like just like in the 1 year.
Oh yeah.
He's in like a dad rock band, he's in like a polka band,
Oh
he's in
shoot.
like a
Oh, so he's
brass
dabbling in
quintet.
everything.
Yeah, yeah. He plays keys a little bit. He sings, but he also trumpets his main thing. But no, I mean, I grew up with my mom and dad both like singing in church choir and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and they got us into music young. My brothers, like my brother Nick plays drums, but like not professionally. He's not. He's more does it as a hobby. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe someday he'd like, want to take the leap.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yep.
Be sick. It'd be sick if Nick Schuller's my drummer on tour someday.
I was gonna say there's the
Yeah.
Schuller bros out on
Yeah.
tour. That would go crazy. That would go
I don't
crazy.
think. I don't think that's a career path these
That's
days.
not in the cards, unfortunately.
But no, but like my both of my brothers were in band in high school. Like Johnny, my other brother, is like really good trumpet player also. Um, but yeah, neither of them like pursued it. And like obviously my dad didn't pursue it either. Like he graduated college and is an engineer.
Yeah.
So like he, yeah. So I mean, musical family in that sense, but not like I didn't have like a momager and a dadager that were like, you have to pursue this. We're gonna take you to auditions and we're gonna move you to LA. Like it wasn't like that. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. Uh, so moving on. So obviously, as I said in the beginning, you are 1/3 of the nerdcore group Nerd Out. And that's I'm just new. I haven't seen anywhere like how the story of the three of you came to be. How did you come like meet them? How did you meet Jack? And how did the formation
Yeah.
of that group come to be? Because obviously you guys are like pioneers almost in this nerdcore space. Like you said, what did you say? Seven years? That's
Yeah,
wild.
like shit. It's actually coming up on 9 years now that I think about it. Our first song, um, yeah, it's like 2015, like November
Damn.
2015, I think. But yeah, I mean, it really was. It's so weird to think about how like nerdcore has grown so
Oh
much
yeah,
since
absolutely,
then. It was a
absolutely.
completely different thing back then. Like there was JT, Rocket was just getting started. Dan Bull was like the big like legend
Mhm.
guy, and then there were other people too, obviously. Um, but I mean, Nem and Jack definitely linked up first, and like Jack was like, "Hey, I wanna," because like Nem had already been making some like nerdy
Yeah,
raps
yeah,
on
yeah.
his own channel,
Yep.
and Jack had dabbled in like writing parodies of popular songs,
Yeah.
like but for games. And this was back when Nerdcore was all about video games. It was
Oh,
like
yeah.
that was it. Um, and so, but Jack doesn't sing, so Jack like found me through like I had done a couple other just like video game parodies for hire, like some other like this one
Oh,
person in particular named James Adams who doesn't even do this kind of stuff anymore, I
yeah.
don't think. But he like found some of my videos on YouTube and was like, "Hey, can you sing this song? I'll pay you $50." And so like, "Oh yeah, sure." Um, and this is like 2014, 2015,
Oh, damn.
and so I guess Jack probably found me through one of those, and then asked if I, hired me a couple times to sing, but like before Nerd Out was really Nerd Out, and then there was like some whole thing with like the channel like getting taken down, and then they like started it over, and with the starting of the new channel,
Yeah.
he reached out to me. He was like, "Hey, I want to do this parody of this Adele song for Call of Duty," and it went like viral it was the first upload on the channel, and it went like 100,000 views in like the first weekend.
Oh,
It was
dang.
it was insane.
Yeah,
I
for the
had never
time or
seen
whatever,
anything
and
like
being the first
yeah.
video, that's
We had
wild.
zero subscribers when like it was like
So I
zero
wonder
to
what made it like pick up traction, or just like how did it like?
I mean, credit to Jack. It was a very good idea. So like I don't know if you played Call of Duty back then,
Oh,
but
I used to. I don't really anymore, but
I didn't know much about like what was going on, but
yeah.
like the community in general was very upset with the creators at that time because of like what they were doing with the next game. And so it was a parody of Hello by Adele, and it was essentially like a plea to the developers
Yeah.
of Call of Duty to like bring it back to how it was when we liked it. And it was really well written, and um yeah, we got like some. I think like some. It was either Brazilian or Mexican. Some YouTuber speaking a different language that
Yeah.
we didn't know asked like, I mean, must have stumbled on it, but they were a bigger YouTuber, and they reached out and like, hey, we really like this. Can we upload it to our channel with subtitles in Brazilian? And we were like, yeah. And so like that brought over a bunch of people too. And then, yeah, I don't know. Like I give all the credit to Jack. It was a great idea.
Shout out to Jack.
Yeah, we followed it up with like probably one video every 2 or 3 weeks for the next few months, and like Nem comes in and like, you know, one of the best rappers in the scene.
Oh yeah.
Like just like pure skill wise, especially like back then when he was like doing things that people weren't doing. And Rocket Music or Rocket Gaming as they were called then.
Yep.
Had a collab with Nem, Rainbows in the Dark, and that like blew up and went viral too. So we just like had, I don't know, kind of a magical run at the beginning.
So you guys kind of almost caught lightning in a bottle there at the beginning. And kind of the rest was kind of history. The rest was kind of history. And shout out to you guys because, like I said, you guys have been doing this, like you said, for 9 years, and you guys are still active. You guys are still going strong. So shout out to you guys because not a lot of people can do this for this long and still at that pace and still because especially nowadays people find trends and they move on, right? Yeah. So the fact that you guys are still able to like do what you do and keep people and still absolutely kill it musically. So shout out to all you guys because you guys, like I said, you guys are pioneers in this nerdcore. Obviously, there's people like you said, you guys, Dan Bull, Rocket, JT, all those guys. You guys are like the OGs. You guys are like the grandpas of the scene.
It's weird to think that, but like a little bit, like I don't know. There was definitely like in that era. Like I'm not. So there was obviously Nerdcore before us, Nerdcore after us, but like it is weird to think that like from that era, like it did influence something moving forward.
Because I feel like after like that 2015 is kind of where it just like it slowly started picking up more and more and more and like you said, there was some before, there was some after, but it just like from 2015 to like present day, like it just like the amount of growth that there's been and the amount of people that tune in and the amount of artists too. Like I feel like there's like just like a wide variety of artists and they all do like different, this person does this person does that. So it's just like there's something for everything. And it's more like and I know a lot of people because there was a big thing recently where people were saying that nerdcore music is kind of taking itself too seriously, but
I saw that video.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything further about it, but at the end of the day, things evolve. Like the things are like that might have worked, like those like you said, those parody videos and stuff like that. But nowadays, you guys are just making good music, things that can be listened to like daily. Like you can randomly play it in your car or whatever, and it's not like the like weird parody music of like Hello or anything. Not saying that it's like weird or whatever, but like if you're playing it with other people, they're gonna be like,
dude, what? I agree with you 100%, and I love it. I love how it's grown, and like yeah, maybe we like helped move something along, but like we just hopped on a wave when it was moving, and like it started picking up, and like other people came in and added their thing to it, and like the amount of like amazing artists that like really started jumping on the scene from like 2016 to 2018 2019 like and just really took it to a whole new level, and like it's kind of insane just to like see every year it evolves a little bit more, and it's influenced by the new people that rise up. And yeah, I guess it's cool to like think back to like where it was and just see where it is now, and I absolutely love it, and I'm just like glad to be part of it, honestly.
And to go back to what you were saying about like you guys back in like 2015 2016, it's funny that you guys say that because I got like super like into like nerdcore in like 2020. Like I think it was like a Rusted song, right? It popped up in my Spotify recommended. But then after I listened to that, I was like, wait, this is cool. I wonder if there was anything beforehand that I listened to on like online. It's just like maybe I didn't know what it was at the time, but I listened to it not know. Yeah. And for some reason, I believe it was you guys, but way back when for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I remember there was like I think, I don't know if it was like a cipher or like a song or something like that, but for some reason I just remember it, like you had like different people for all the whatever the different
The
characters.
specialist rap. There was
Yes,
like a
yes,
rap battle with like
yes. I know exactly
that was like our second or third video.
that. I remember seeing that, and I was just like, wait, so I've known about it for this long. I just never knew
Yeah.
what it was. So yeah, so I wanted to throw that in there because like I said, that was back in like, what was that, 2016 maybe?
Yeah, that was either end of 2015 or beginning 2016.
So so it's crazy because like I said, a lot of people like they don't realize. Excuse me. A lot of people like they've listened to nerdcore, but like in my case, like they've listened to nerdcore music before, but maybe they just and they didn't know it at the time. It's like, this is like a whole thing. Like this is a whole community of people making music. It's not just this one group or this one person making songs. Like there's a whole community, and that's kind of how it started with me. Like like I said, when I started back in 20 or got into it back in like early 2020, I found Rustage, and then I watched like a Rustage cipher, and obviously with that cipher, it led me to like all these other people, and the next thing you know, I was just kind of like ingrained with it. So yeah, like I said, the amount of talent and like hardworking people and just like good, just overall, like I said, just uber talented people in this community, and it's just like, especially like with my reactions nowadays, it's so like a lot of people like when I stream my reactions every Sunday, there's people who watch me that like they watch because I'm a streamer. They weren't necessarily watching because I'm a nerdcore. So there's a lot of people who watch me that don't necessarily listen to nerdcore, right? But then I'll play like one or two songs and be like, oh shoot, this is so cool. Like this is actually like, I like this song or whatever. And then they like dominoes. Like it's just like, oh, that song was cool. That song was cool. And next thing you know, it's just I just love this community is just terrific, dude. I just love being a part of this community, dude.
Insane. Oh my god. Yeah, like seeing where it's at now, like, and it's only getting bigger too.
Yeah.
It's only getting bigger. Like every time it gets a little bit bigger, it inspires like other artists to come up and bring something new, and like you get, like you said, like you listen to a Russ's song like first, and like people like him just like elevating the game.
Yeah.
Like, DPS, Fable, just like
absolutely, yep.
And like bringing and yeah, it's just who knows what it's gonna look like 5 years from now.
Oh,
It's
absolutely,
definitely not gonna be smaller.
Oh,
It's gonna just keep getting bigger.
like I wouldn't be surprised if like you start like we get to the point where like we start hearing the like people who make nerdcore music like unironically on the radio or gets promoted like mainstream wise. And like you start getting like I know there's some artists that like chart in different like countries and whatnot, but if we could say we might start seeing them like chart like top 10 on Billboard and whatnot. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we come to a time where
I don't think we're as far away from that as you think. Shoot, I would not be surprised if a Fable song pops up.
Oh,
on a
100%, yeah.
chart in like the next year or two.
absolutely,
Like,
yeah.
Like I feel like he might have already done it. I don't even know. But
I wouldn't be
he's
surprised.
He's got to be close because like, yeah.
And it's just like the fact
gotta
that
get to that point.
everybody is just like it's just they're just all like you guys, right? Like you guys are just three guys and nerd out, and then obviously you as yourself. But it's just like there's no like PR team, there's no marketing team, there's no nothing that, and you guys still manage to do as well as you guys do. The amount of hard work and talent that takes, obviously, like everything on the internet, it takes also a little bit of a stroke of luck to get to that point. That's everything on the internet.
Oh, sure.
But to just once you get up to that point and you can stay there, like I said, that's just a testament to how much work and time and effort, blood, sweat, tears, all that mumbo jumbo, how much time you guys have spent on your craft. And like I said, nerdcore is ever rising. Like it's constantly like doubling, tripling in size every year. And to see people like like I said, like you guys just still killing it. Just seeing you guys on the top of your game, and just like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw a Ben Schuller song chart one day, because a lot of these guys, a lot of these guys, like yourself or whatever, you guys,
Cheers to that.
yeah, cheers to that. I don't. Oh, you got the. I didn't even realize you're sipping on a White Claw.
I got a little White Claw. I gotta stay on brand.
You gotta stay. You gotta keep the brand up. You gotta keep. But so shout out to you guys. And then this is another kind of like a random question, but who is somebody, and it could be anybody, it could be mainstream, it could be in nerdcore, but who is somebody that you would want to see yourself like, oh, I would love to work with this person. Like I think if we linked up, we could make something that's absolutely dope.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about?
Shoot. Well, I mean, it's hard to answer that for Nerdcore since it's like we already like work with each other in general.
Oh yeah.
I will say I have not done a solo song with Fable yet, and I think hopefully we do that in the next year because that's like I'd love to do that.
Wait, you didn't do a song with Fable?
I've done songs with Fable on Nerd Out, but not
a
solo one yet. But
okay, I was gonna say because I'm pretty sure you did a track, but I think it was labeled as Nerd Out and not
right.
Bench. Okay.
No, but so if you're it's like a Nerd Out or a Nerdcore in that world, like oh yeah, I need to get on track with Fable. Like would love to.
Dude, like, can you imagine like Ben Schuller scream? Dude, that would go crazy.
I mean, you've heard a little bit of it
Yeah.
in this music video album. There's a couple little scream.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just like just Fable getting a hold of you and you whipping out like screaming vocals and like the more of like an aggressive.
Let's not get carried away.
Hey, that's like another Ben Schuller alter ego there. You got White Claw Ben Schuller, and now you got aggressive Ben Schuller.
Yikes. I think outside of that though, like Ryan Tedder has always been like a huge inspiration to me. Like growing up, I was a huge fan of One Republic, and then like learning about him as a songwriter. Like he's written songs for everybody, and like he's a producer. He's just like kind of done everything. I mean, he's inspired me to be the producer and the artist type of thing, the songwriter and the artist. And yeah, I think like I love what he does. I'd love to work with him. I mean, I love to make a song with somebody like Post Malone, just because.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Just feel the energy off of that.
You guys would make a banger, dude. I feel like you and Post Malone, like your styles would mesh very well.
Yeah, so that would be cool. Damn, I mean, every once in a while, like I come out with like a more ballady love song where I'm like, oh shit, I should get like a girl feature on the second verse.
That would actually be kind of that would.
Like randomly, like Dua Lipa is somebody I'm like, oh, how do you get Dua Lipa?
Yeah.
The second verse of this song?
Yeah. Dua Lipa goes crazy, so I would like to see you guys. Hey, speak it into existence, man. Speak it into. You never know that you might get a random. Hey, I just heard one of your tracks, man. You want to be on it? You want to be a feature? Like it's just as simple as something like that, man. So put it out there, man. Hey, you never know. She might see this interview.
She might. Put it out there. My song "Perfect 2" came out last year. Second verse could be yours. Just saying.
Go check it out. But excuse me, the drink went down the wrong tube there for a second. But
that's like my nightmare.
Oh, but Ben, I think that's all I have for you, my good sir. We could dive into the topic of supporting terrible football teams, but I know you guys got that big game on Sunday, and I know you're going to be attending the football game. So shout out.
Give a shout out, Detroit Lions. They've been terrible my entire lifetime. Me and my brothers are going to the game on Sunday, hoping to see the first playoff win of our lifetime. If
it won't happen.
It might be one of the best days of my life. If it happens. So like, I fully am aware we might lose, but I gotta take that chance. I gotta take the risk.
Are you into like any other sports besides like football? Like,
yeah. So I am. Yeah. So Detroit teams are like obviously my main for pros, but my family's from Nebraska originally.
Yeah.
So I'm a diehard Nebraska fan for college sports, and I mean sports.
Yeah.
It's like football, basketball, baseball. Our volleyball team's really good. I watch a lot.
Oh, so you watch literally everything.
Yeah.
You dabble in everything.
After this wrestling's, I got a big match, and no, I'm just actually might tune in for a second because one of the football players is wrestling. This is how much I am a fan, though. Like, people ask me, like, what are your hobbies outside of music? It's like, I don't know. I obsess over sports teams that like don't know I exist. That's, I guess.
Hey, but like I'm the same way. Like I'm big into like basketball too, like professional. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really keep up much college wise.
Sure.
I'm more of like a professional, but like basketball, football. I used to be super big into baseball back in the day, but just like I'm like a diehard like Ravens on top. If it, for the real
Good. The Ravens are good.
Dude, they're going to the Super Bowl, bro. They're going to the Super Bowl.
You guys destroyed us this year.
We destroyed everybody. It's okay. It's don't feel too bad. We destroyed everybody, so it's not just you. But no, Ben, thank you for doing this. Like I said, thank you for being the first guest, and thank you for being willing to be my guinea pig for all of this. Is there anything? Now that we're gonna be wrapping up, I'll give you a little bit of time. If you want to promote anything, promote yourself. If you've got anything in the works, please feel free. Let us know what you got going on. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, man. No, I am honored to be the first guest. What's the Peep Lounge?
The Peep Lounge, yes.
What's poppin' peeps? Poppin' peeps. Can I just say my favorite clip from a reaction that I've ever seen was when you paused my video when like the shirtless Ben character was doing push-ups and you were like,
"Oh, the grippers
for free."
Yeah, no, most people have to pay for some footage like that, man.
I was dying. I'm probably gonna like clip a bunch of reaction stuff and start like posting them on TikTok.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Hell yeah.
That'll be one of the clips. But anyways, thanks so much for having me. Like, appreciate what you do for the community. Just like, your reactions are all like top of the game.
I appreciate
love
that.
Seeing them. Every time I'm like, I'll refresh every once in a while, like Ben Schuller reactions in the search bar, and then like when you pop up, it's like, oh, he finally reacted to the new one. Hell yeah, let's check it out.
I'm not worthy of such praise. I'm not worthy of such praise, man. I appreciate the kind words.
So yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course.
I don't really have anything to, to plug. My new music video album just came out. All chapters are out now. The full thing is on my YouTube channel. Go check it out. Just yeah, and that's about it. I'm excited to see what the next year holds. Because
hell yeah, dude! And I'm excited for you too, because like I said, you're one of my favorite, not only like vocalists and singers, but you're just one of my favorite artists. Period. And I want to give you those flowers now, because like I said, like whenever I see you drop, like the efficiency of which I click the video needs to be studied, needs to be researched, because I click those so quickly, and it's just like, I feel like I'm about to go on like take like a trip every time because like you always have like a story to tell, and you just make good music that I want to listen to. Like I said, you're the current holder of my favorite song that's been released. Dude, shout out This Moment. If you guys haven't go stream it.
I'll sing it at your wedding someday.
I'm gonna need that in ready, dude. I'm gonna need that in ready because I'll never forget that. But guys, make sure you guys, like I said, follow Ben Schuller on everything, social medias. Go stream all of his music. Two sides of the same coin on Spotify. If you want to go watch the music videos, all those are up on his YouTube as well. Go run it up. Go show him love. Go leave him a comment, like, subscribe, all that jazz. And leave a like on this video too, and let me know down in the comments who else would you guys like to see down on the Peep Lounge. And with that being said, make sure you guys stay safe. Take care of yourself. Tell a loved one that you love them, because at the end of the day, you don't know. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.